Good morning, Internet fans. Ryan Perry here, Simple Biz Support. Today is Thursday, June 23rd. Therefore, it is Internet Marketing Thursday. And for the second week in a row, I have my special guest, which is Annette Penny with Inspired by Annette. Good morning or good afternoon to you being on the East Coast.
Yes, good afternoon to me. And it's inspiredannette.com. I don't know where you got the buy from.
I'm sorry. I like to plug things in.
People can find me.
Inspired Annette.
Yes.
We are going to continue our conversation from last week talking about taking your written blog content that's already on your website and essentially repurposing it into a video blog, because I think a lot of people, especially if they're just starting out, video can be a little overwhelming. It's a little scary. And what's an easy way to create new content? Just take the content you already have and just do a video blog.
Yeah, I agree with that. And when you consider that website visitors will stay on your site longer when you have video content, 60% longer actually, then you want to have some video content. And for the smaller business owner, they don't know exactly where to start. I would say take baby steps. When you're learning how to do something new, always take baby steps. Then you don't feel overwhelmed. And so what's your biggest resource is the content you've already created, and you've spent hours and hours and who knows hundreds of hours writing, researching, writing. So go back to those categories and choose one blog post from each category a week, let's say, and create a little video from it.
Yeah, and that's essentially what we talked about last week, was how do you get started? This week, we're going to get a little bit more detailed in the fact of, okay, now that you started creating content, what do I do with it? How do I figure out the timing? Where do I post it? Do I need to change my website? So we're going to get into a little bit more technical stuff, but it's still going to be really easy, and it should lay out a roadmap of what it is that you're going to want to do. And the first thing that we want to talk about is a marketing calendar, because without a plan, things typically don't go as well as they could. And a marketing calendar is a great way to keep the ball rolling, keep everything on track.
Marketing calendars are good. Especially, let's just take somebody who's in real estate. So in real estate that people who want to sell their homes are going to be looking at things in the spring and the summer, like curb appeal, patio furniture, how to set up your backyard, how to make the front of your house look nice, should you paint the front door, blah, 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 and what should you do any additional landscaping for the summer months? Will you get a good return on investment for that? So you can predict that, and you can schedule it in your marketing calendar, right? Now, there are some things, though, that come up suddenly. I use BuzzSumo. Have you ever used that?
I haven't personally used it, but I'm familiar with the name.
Right. So if you go in there and you type in real estate in California, it will, and you can click like in the last 24 hours, last week, the last month, and you can find out, it will produce results and tell you what people are blogging about, and maybe even creating video about, considering real estate in California. And it will tell you how many articles have been shared in the past 24 hours, week, month, whatever you choose, right? And so you can see by popularity then. So if there's a particular component of real estate in California that people are talking about in the last week, and it's a hot topic, you might want to kind of jump on the bandwagon there,
Yeah, totally. And that's where, so we need our evergreen content, we need our seasonal content, and then having some blanks in there for what's currently going on in the industry.
Right.
That's kind of what you're saying?
Yes, exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, perfect. And a marketing calendar isn't fancy. For me, it's an Excel spreadsheet with each week, depending on each client, they have different needs. But essentially, it's a matter of, okay, blog post needs to go, Facebook post needs to go. And I already have the title. I know where the content is. If there's images, all that's attached. And then it's just a matter of adding another column for video and what it is that you're going to talk about.
Yeah, I use Excel too because, well, I'm familiar with it, and I learned something new. And like you said, it's simple, like your business name, simple
Right.
business word. So yeah, try to keep it simple so you don't overwhelm yourself.
That is true. So the key thing with the marketing calendar is also I like to, when I'm doing blog content, you look at your blog roll. I don't want to see video, 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 text, 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 video, video, video. And ideally, you want to break it up a little bit. And and even if you're going to incorporate infographics, maybe on a quarterly basis, video, written content, video, written content, maybe a blog or a infographic, and then you go back to your blog content. Break it up a little bit.
Right.
That way, it's going to keep people's interest more. And some people are going to be more into text than they are going to be video. And so it makes it easier for them to determine which is which. The other thing I would say is based on your CMS that you're using, and even on WordPress, there's so many different templates out there. Some of them, it'll make it clear that this is a video versus just a text blog.
Yeah, and you have to look at time of day. So you may, for instance, post a certain type of topic during a certain time of day. Like I have one client, for instance, I post something really funny for 7:15 a.m. every day. It kind of opens up Facebook's algorithm. It's a little trick. And then at 11:30 a.m., it's something else. And then at 7:30 p.m., it's a totally different topic, right? And then on the weekends, people will be, maybe more inclined to read, or they're going to be more inclined to click on a video. So you keep those things in mind as well when you're deciding when to post video and blog and text and, cartoon, whatever.
Right. And before we get into social media, why don't we talk about, now that we actually have video content, where am I just going to incorporate that into the blog section? I know some people will have separate or actually menus on their blog. It'll just be blog, and then they'll have a separate category for video blog, or excuse me, a separate menu item for video. And then other people will also go into your categories. If you talked about real estate, so you might have a category for curb appeal, for buyers, for sellers. Do we need a separate one for video?
Well, that's a good question. I'm just designing a brand new website for inspiredannette.com. And one of the tab menus that I put there this morning is called marketing videos. So I do have a separate tab just for videos, and I'm not putting blog content in there. Blog content will be just in a separate tab. Now, here's what I think, and you know this better than I do when it comes to SEO. The more content you have on your website, the better. So what I would do is I would create some videos and put them in a separate section that is only for video content. But then I would go back through my blog posts, because I probably got the idea for the video from a blog post anyway, and I would insert that video within the blog post that's already there. And because, that stuff is still floating out there, and people share it, and it gets shared months down the road, and people come across it, So that way a person who prefers to read will still come across your video and maybe watch it. And some people who don't want to read and only want to watch video, which is the majority of people now, then they'll just go to your video section, right?
Right. And then the caveat I would put with that is, if you're going to have a separate blog section from an SEO point of view, if all you do is embed a video into it, you're not going to have any SEO value. Google is getting more sophisticated, but at this point, they're still just reading zeros and ones. And when you embed video, basically you're embedding a URL link from YouTube into your site. It doesn't have any SEO value. It doesn't tell you what the blog's about, or any content information. So what I do with my clients is I extract the audio from the blog, and I have a transcription service transcribe everything so that I have the video at the top, and then the content, transcribed content below that I can then do internal links, external links if I'm going to, but basically SEO optimize it. And I love the idea of taking that video and putting it in your old blog post also, just as a little boost, if you will.
That's a really great idea. I didn't know that yet, but that's a really good idea. And something just occurred to me. Almost every person that has a business and has a website has success stories, client success stories, testimonials, and that sort of thing. And you could call those people up and say, last year you provided me with a testimonial. I was wondering if I popped over, would you do a quick video with me? And so then, you don't have to get new testimonials and call up some other people that are brand new. It's just a good place to start, I think.
Yeah, testimonials are really powerful, and anytime you're going to do a testimonial, I always recommend to my clients is do an objection-based testimonial. So if, as you're going through your sales process with a prospect, and they're like, oh, I just don't know if I can invest that much time. That's one of the testimonials I'm going to get is from a former client who said, hey, yeah, originally I was really unsure if I was going to be able to invest the time. But let me tell you, once I got into the program, I made it a priority. That way, when you run across that objection, you can go, oh, totally understand. I always like to send emails. Hey, Tom, it was great talking to you today. By the way, you mentioned time was an issue. Here's a testimonial from somebody who had the same concerns. Take a look at it.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. Overcoming objections in a testimonial. It's like two things in one. I love it.
Well, yeah, and it's not coming from me. I mean, obviously, I'm going to try and sell you on my product or service, where somebody who's actually providing a testimonial, there's no direct benefit to them. They're just simply going, hey, this guy did a great job. So testimonials, love testimonials, and they don't always have to be objection-based testimonials. But if you can, that is always the best way to do it. The other thing I do before and after videos for general contractors, kitchen remodel, bath remodels, typical price point is $80,000 or more. And so anytime the contractor actually schedules a new appointment, because they have to go out and look at the house and do an evaluation to kind of figure out what the people want, when they finish up that phone call and say, yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday, they follow up with an email. Hey, Gene, it was great talking with you. I'll be out next Tuesday. By the way, here's somebody, in the same city, next city over, who we just did a remodel for, so you can get an idea of our work. Just makes it an easy sell, so when they walk in the door to do that review, those people are going to love them, assuming the video is done right.
Right. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. We're almost out of time, and I know you want to also talk about...
This happens every time.
It's amazing how fast it goes. Why don't we talk about social media as far as posting, because if all you do is make a video, leave it on YouTube, boom, and that's it, you're not being efficient.
No, exactly. Yeah, it's a really good point. There's going to probably be a couple of ways that you're going to create video content. Like, for instance, this morning I was on my way to a meeting. I did a quick Snapchat, and then I shared it on Facebook after. So I was just on my iPhone, right? Now, there's going to be the videos that you intentionally produce, edit, and, they're a little more professional looking, whatever. Those I would upload them everywhere. And it's my idea is create it anywhere, share it everywhere. So you can, do it on your laptop, do it with a video camera, do it on your smartphone, and just share it across all of the social media platforms that you are a part of, right? And why wouldn't you do that? Because your audience is different on Twitter, on Facebook, on Pinterest, on LinkedIn. Our audiences are different, so we're reaching whole other. Yeah, there's going to be some overlap, obviously, right? But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, my thoughts are definitely in the beginning, assuming that you've already targeted social media platforms that your audience is in, and then it's just a matter of testing and evaluating. At some point, you have to look at the analytics and go, okay, are people responding to the videos? If they're not, is it because of the quality of the video, or is this just not the right platform that people are interested in watching video on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for instance, if you had a recipe and you posted a video of you making this recipe on Pinterest, yeah, you know what? A lot of people go to Pinterest at supper time and they just want to read the recipe. Let me see the ingredients. They don't want to watch a video. But I'm a big believer in testing and retesting and retesting. You've got to look at the analytics because, like you said, you could be wasting your time.
Yeah, totally. And then the other debate, I just did a video blog about this yesterday, is should I upload to YouTube and Facebook? And for me, because we're out of time, the quick and dirty answer is if your goal is to build your YouTube audience, then I want to push all of my traffic to YouTube. So in that case, I would upload only to YouTube, and then I would share the link from Facebook to YouTube, so that again, I'm trying to drive traffic there to build up my YouTube channel. Because if you start off with zero videos, you're not going to have any SEO value, ranking, juice, quality, whatever you want to call it. As you start getting subscribers, as people start watching your videos, then the quality is going to come up in Google's eyes, and it's going to make it much easier to rank on the first page of Google, which is one of my key things that I do. And then you can change down the road where, yes, you still upload to YouTube, but maybe then you start uploading the videos to Facebook congruently.
Yeah, I mean, I just read a study about that maybe 2 days ago about how when you embed a video on YouTube, or sorry, on Facebook, as opposed to sharing the YouTube link, it just gets way more views and is way better, blah, blah, blah. But it depends on what your goals and objectives are. Like you said, if you're trying to build your YouTube audience, and YouTube is the second largest search engine next to Google, so that's a really good goal to have, a business goal, then you're going to want to do, upload it to YouTube first, then share it to Facebook and the other social media channels, right?
Right, definitely. All right. Quick recap. Marketing calendar, great idea. Excel spreadsheet, simple, easy way to go. I like your idea of taking the video, since we're, again, if you watch last week's video and we talk about where do you get that content from your current blog content, you want to use your content as much as possible. So embed that video in the original post, and then create a new post. And I like how you're creating a separate menu item for just your video marketing blog, so that people that are truly interested in just the video, makes it real easy to find. And then we talked about social media platforms. That is a whole day conversation right
Totally,
there. So we
totally.
yeah, so we just kind of really just touched the tip of the iceberg. Annette, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Always love to see your beautiful hair and what new colors we might see.
I was thinking of adding some pink next to the purple.
I say do it, darn it. One of these, I keep on adding white to my brown.
It's great talking to you, Ryan.
You too. All right, everybody, that is it for today's show. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, comments, or you think we left something out, feel free to leave a comment below, and we'll see you next week. Take care.